What's up, guys? So this video is going to be about some of the things I learned this week in my path to becoming a natural health expert slash holistic healer extraordinaire. I wanted to focus more on some big picture stuff for today. Even though I did pick up a few new tips and techniques in terms of acupressure and started learning the five element theory of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. I don't really have enough wisdom or expertise at this point to warrant including it in the video, so I'm going to save that one for another time. And I wanted to focus more on the macro today. And it's not necessarily stuff that I learned just this week, but stuff that became apparent to me or was introduced to me in the last year or so, and I think is increasingly important with the societal developments of the last month or two. So what I have for you is basically the importance of looking internally and taking personal responsibility to improve your health and find validation and just be happy rather than looking to the external world. So essentially, the best way to improve your health is to take personal responsibility for the toxins that you're putting into your body. And they appear in various forms. For example, I'd say the first one would just be how much time that you're spending consuming entertainment and news that is inducing fear or anxiety. Ultimately, what that does, and basically all the forms of toxins that you're ingesting, however, in whatever form that they are, have the ability to enable your stress response, or the sympathetic nervous system, also known as the fight or flight response, which a lot of you may be familiar with. But when that part of the nervous system is activated, it releases stress hormones like cortisol, among others, and it suppresses your immune system. So it actually can make you sick just by being fearful or worried, about the possibility that you might get sick. You've probably heard of the placebo effect. That's essentially what it is. A few other ways that you can ingest toxins is just through the sheer amount of electromagnetic frequencies, EMF radiations, or RFR, radio frequency radiation from cell phones, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth headphones, and the like. And it really just scrambles all of your cells and makes it hard for you to think and concentrate, and really degrades your sleep quality, as well as activates your sympathetic nervous system. And finally, the one that you might be familiar with is just toxicity in your diet, in terms of processed foods or packaged goods that have additives or preservatives to increase the shelf life, allegedly to increase the shelf life, and then just pesticides and stuff in crop production. It's widespread, the use of Roundup by Monsanto in the vast majority of crops that are produced in the US and in the world. And there's a specific chemical called glyphosate in Roundup, which a lot of you again might be familiar with, but it really has severe detrimental health effects to it, like increased chance of cancer and many other things too. Just do a quick Google search for glyphosate and you'll see what I'm talking about. So all of those toxins basically are ways that are things that get you sick or activate your sympathetic nervous system. Specifically, a toxic diet. Basically, when you ingest poisonous food or toxic food, your brain, specifically the amygdala, the part of the brain that's responsible for the fight or flight response, is activated. It registers that you poison yourself, and it activates your stress response and suppresses your immune system. So just basically taking personal responsibility for the amount of toxicity that you're exposing yourself to is a really good technique or tactic to use to improve your health. And I started following this doctor by the name of Lissa Rankin within the past year. And she is a big proponent of the relaxation response, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, and its ability to optimize or improve your health. Basically, her thesis is that to improve your health, you basically just want to facilitate the relaxation response as much as possible and cut down the likelihood of your body going into the stress response and secreting cortisol and other stress-inducing hormones. And her model, the premise of like her theory is predicated on a 10-point model. It's called the Whole Health Cairn. You know, like a rock cairn that has stacks of rocks of various sizes on top of each other. It's basically like that, and it's 10 components that make up your overall health. And at the bottom, the foundation stone is what's called the Christ consciousness or internal pilot light stone, which is essentially your intuition. And the top is your overall health, physical and mental. And in between that there's 8 other stones that are various things that impact your health. And you can probably guess some of them, like exercise and diet, your network, like support system, and belonging to a group or a tribe. Work life, spirituality, sexuality is another big one, and then there's a few more that I'm forgetting. But essentially, her belief is that the 2 most important or determining factors in overall health are your support system, so your network, and feeling like you belong to a tribe. It's important to be included in a group, but even more so is the degree to which that you feel you belong to that group. So that, and the ability to follow your internal pilot light or your intuition are the 2 things that really are going to facilitate you coming into the relaxation response more than any of the other factors. So her belief is essentially, no matter how good your diet is or how free of toxins you really are, if you're going to be in the fight or flight response and releasing cortisol all the time, it doesn't matter, any of the other things like your diet, or you could be consuming all organic food and be as far removed from 5G cell signals or Bluetooth radiation as you want. But if your sympathetic nervous system is activated, it doesn't matter, because your body is going to be secreting all of these immune system what word am I looking for here? Immune system inhibiting hormones. When you're in the parasympathetic system or mode, your body releases all the natural self-healing hormones and happiness, quote unquote, hormones like endorphins and serotonin, dopamine, all that good stuff. So basically, it comes down to, again, personal responsibility and your ability to look internally and trust your intuition, find your intuition, and then trust it to make the changes that you need to make, either in your personal life or in your perception, to ultimately benefit your mind, I would say, benefit your well-being, and as a result, your physical health.